Have you ever reached down to pick up your guinea pig and suddenly they just stop? Completely. Like someone pressed pause. No squeaks, no wiggles, just stillness. Your stomach drops. You wonder, did I scare them? Are they hurt? Do they hate me? If that's you, breathe. Because what you're seeing isn't rejection. It's not even always fear. It's a quiet signal they've been sending you since day one. And once you learn how to read it, everything changes. But before we dive in, there's one thing most owners get completely wrong about this moment, and it's quietly costing them their bond.
You're not alone in this. Thousands of guinea pig parents go through the exact same panic. You lift them gently, and suddenly, they lock up. It feels personal. It feels like a wall going up. But here's the truth. This isn't a sign they don't love you. It's actually one of the most common moments in guinea pig ownership. And how you react in those first 3 seconds, it decides whether your relationship grows deeper or slowly fades. So before you put them back in worry, let's step inside their world for a minute, because what's really happening in their head might surprise you. But I need you to hold that thought for just a second, because the reason they freeze isn't what you think. Let's start with the oldest reason, survival. Imagine you're small. You have no claws, no sharp teeth, no speed. In the wild, your only defense isn't fighting, it's disappearing. When danger passes overhead, movement gets you noticed. Stillness keeps you alive. So they freeze. It's not panic, it's ancient strategy. Your cozy living room isn't a predator's hunting ground, but their instincts haven't caught up yet. And here's what most owners never notice. That freeze isn't a wall, it's a question. They're waiting to see what you do next. But this is where it gets interesting, because that ancient instinct doesn't just disappear, it evolves. And that evolution is exactly why your guinea pig reacts differently today than they did yesterday. Now, sometimes it really is fear, but not the kind you think. It's rarely fear of you. It's fear of the unknown. A sudden shadow, a loud door slam, being lifted a little too fast. Their nervous system slams the brakes. Muscles tense, breathing quickens. They're not rejecting you, they're bracing. And this is where it gets interesting. Fear doesn't always look like running away. Sometimes it looks like doing absolutely nothing. And that's exactly where most owners make their first mistake. But wait, before you assume it's fear, look closer. Because what looks like panic might actually be something completely different. Then there's trust. And trust isn't built in a day. If your guinea pig is new or hasn't been handled much, that freeze is their way of saying, I don't know you yet. They're collecting data. Your scent, your voice, the warmth of your hands. They're running a quiet safety check. And until that check comes back clear, their body stays locked. But here's the twist. You can't force trust. You can only prove it, over and over. And there's one simple habit that speeds this up by weeks, but most people skip it because it feels too slow. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less. Sitting quietly, letting them come to you. And when they finally do, that's when the real magic happens. But this completely changes the meaning, because trust isn't just about handling, it's about presence.
How you pick them up matters more than you realize. Reaching from straight above, in their world, that's how predators strike. Supporting only the front feels like falling. Letting their back legs dangle triggers instant panic. Their bodies are delicate. Their balance is fragile. When handled wrong, freezing isn't stubbornness. It's an emergency brake. But this completely changes the meaning. The fix isn't about being perfect. It's about being steady. 2 hands, one under the chest, one supporting the back. Solid, grounded, safe. And when you get it right, that rigid little statue starts to soften. But hold on, I need to pause here for a second, because everything I just told you flips completely upside down in about 30 seconds.
And now, the part that changes everything. Sometimes, freezing isn't fear at all. It's comfort. Yes, really. Some guinea pigs relax so deeply in your hands, they just stop. Eyes half closed, breathing slow, body warm and heavy. It's called happy stillness. But how do you tell the difference between fear and peace? It's not in the stillness, it's in the details. The ears, the whiskers, the tension in their tiny paws. Miss these signs, and you might accidentally stress a perfectly content pig. But catch them, and you'll realize they weren't frozen at all. They were just resting. And here's the line I want you to remember. A guinea pig doesn't freeze because they're broken. They freeze because they're listening.
So how do you actually read it? You don't guess, you watch. If the ears are pinned back, the body is stiff, and the breathing is fast, that's stress. Give them space. Lower your voice. Try again later. But if the ears are relaxed, the whiskers are forward, and their body feels soft against your palms, that's trust. They're just enjoying the moment. Take a second to think about that. We spend so much time trying to make them move, when sometimes they're just asking us to stay still with them. But here's what most owners miss. The room matters just as much as your hands. A TV blaring? A new guest? A sudden draft? Any of these can trigger a freeze, even in a bonded pig. You're not failing. You're just reading one frame of a much bigger story.
And once you step back, the pattern becomes clear. Let's be honest, freezing alone doesn't tell you everything. Context is everything. A freeze in a quiet room with gentle hands? Likely comfort. A freeze after a loud noise or a rushed grab? Likely stress. Your job isn't to stop the freeze. Your job is to understand it. Because when you stop fighting the behavior and start working with it, your guinea pig stops seeing you as a threat and starts seeing you as home. But I want to leave you with one last thought before we wrap up, because this next part is what separates good owners from great ones. So next time your guinea pig freezes, don't panic, don't force it. Just pause, breathe, read the signs, and give them the one thing they've been waiting for: time. I really want to hear from you, not just a yes or no. Tell me this, when your guinea pig freezes, what's the very first thing you do? Do you put them down? Do you try to comfort them? Or do you just sit there waiting for them to melt? Drop your exact moment in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll reply to as many as I can. Because your story might be the exact thing another owner needs to hear today. If this helped you understand your little friend a bit better, hit subscribe. We break down guinea pig behavior simply, without the confusing jargon, so you can actually use it in real life. Thanks for watching, and remember, love isn't about never making mistakes. It's about learning how to fix them together. See you in the next one.